Hey guys, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk. So I'm going to do another ranking video. This is going to be ranking the songs by The Cure, so my top 10 songs by The Cure. And if you paid close attention to my videos, you might say, oh, a month or two ago you ranked the studio albums of The Cure. Yes, I did. And then I noticed recently that on Chris Propfe's channel, and get well, Chris Propfe, Musically Obsessed, him and Jeff Whitcher did their ranking the top 10 Cure songs. And before I watched their video, I kind of went and did my own ranking of my top 10 Cure songs. And then I watched their video because I was kind of interested to see where we'd agree and where we would disagree. And the thing is, The Cure is one of those bands I think is really strong in their deep cuts. A lot of times the deep cuts are better than the songs that get pushed as singles. And I think if you talk to lots of Cure fans, you're going to get an incredible wide variety in what they pick as their best songs. So in a sense, this is going to be my version of The Cure's greatest hits. A lot of the songs that were on this commercial compilation, which obviously leans towards the singles and the hit songs, are not going to be on my list, and just like a lot of those songs weren't on Jeff's list or Chris's list. So let's go ahead and get into it. So my number 10 song is from the Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me album, and I'm picking the final song on it. 17 songs. This is track number 17. It's called Fight. And it's probably an oddball choice for a top 10 list. It's certainly not something you'd see on a greatest hits. I don't think this was something that was ever a regular part of their set lists. But I remember when I played soccer when I was in college in the late 80s, that song was kind of like one of my go-tos on the Walkman, kind of getting fired up to play, was so you could cue it up to the last song on side 2 of that tape, Fight, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. And then that didn't make Jeff's list or Chris's list. My number 9 song, I went to the Wish album, and this will actually be the latest album that is represented in my top 10. And I picked the song From the Edge of the Deep Green Sea. I think when you're talking about sort of those atmospheric Cure songs, this is definitely one of the top from that sort of genre of Cure songs. And so that's why I went with it. And that's the one song that I picked from the Wish album. And again, that song was not picked by either Jeff or Chris. My number 8 song, so I went back to the beginning. So this would be on Three Imaginary Boys, or in the US when we got it as Boys Don't Cry. I'm talking about 10:15 Saturday Night, When the Tap Drips Under the Strip Light. So this is like your post-punky Cure, and so I really like that song. And so that's going to be one of my representatives, one of the songs that's representing the very early part of The Cure's career. And again, that song did not make either of their lists. My number 7, so we're going heap, heavy, depressing, the Pornography album. I picked the song 100 Years. That's the lead-off track. I mean, the very first lyric of the entire album is, "It doesn't matter if we all die." So, you know, Robert Smith's in heavy mode on this. This is not your Just Like Heaven. This is not your love song. This is pretty heavy stuff. And did not make either of their lists either. My number 6 song, we're going to go to the Head on the Door, the first of a couple songs that I'm going to pick from the Head on the Door album, which is pretty close to the top of the Cure albums in my ranking. I'm going to link my ranking of the albums. I'm going to rank Chris and Jeff's top 10 songs list. You'll see those linked up at the end of the video or down below. So my number 6 song was In Between Days. and we finally had a match. This was actually Jeff's number 1 song. I had it at number 6. My number 5 song, you know that Disintegration is my favorite Cure album, that I was definitely going to get some songs off of that album, and so I went with Fascination Street as my number 5 Cure song of all time. And this was the one and only song that appeared on my list, Jeff's list, and Chris Propfe's list, the single song that made all 3 of our lists. Jeff also had it as his number 5, and Chris had it as his number 3. My number 4 song, so this was originally released just as a single in the UK, was part of the Boys Don't Cry. That was the first release in the US. It's Jumpin' Someone Else's Train. I think when Slambo had his Train thread, I definitely talked about that song during his thread. So Jumping Someone Else's Train. And didn't make either of their lists. My number 3 song, we're going to go back one more time to Head on the Door. We're going to do A Night Like This. You got saxophone in a Cure song. And so I think Head on the Door is really one of their best albums ever. I like it better than Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. Chris and Jeff both liked Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me better than I did. And so A Night Like This was also picked by Jeff. Jeff had it as his number 6. I have it as my number 3. My number 2 song, I'm going back to the Disintegration album, talking about Pictures of You. I featured it recently when I did the lyrics, It's More Than Words contest that Rachel started. So that was one of the songs that I picked for that. So I'm kind of picking that as my favorite song off the Disintegration album, and my number 2 song overall. Chris had that as his number 1 song, and I had it as my number 2. And then finally, my favorite song, I'm going to go to the 17 Seconds album. And so I talked about From the Edge of the Deep Green Sea back several minutes ago as number 9, as a nice sort of atmospheric Cure song, but the quintessential atmospheric Cure song. In fact, my favorite Cure song is A Forest off the 17 Seconds album. And Jeff had that on his list. He had it as his number 9. I went all the way number 1. So it turned out that Jeff and I had 4 songs in common on our top 10 list, while Chris and I had only 2 songs. And as I mentioned before, Fascination Street was the only song that made all 3 of our lists. So I'll do a quick recap from 10 to 1. My number 10, Fight off of Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. My number 9, From the Edge of the Deep Green Sea off the Wish album. Number 8, 10:15 Saturday Night off of 3 Imaginary Boys, or Boys Don't Cry, depending on what side of the ocean you live on. Number 7, 100 Years from Pornography. Number 6, In Between Days from The Head on the Door. Number 5, Fascination Street off of Disintegration. Number 4, Jumpin' Someone Else's Train, released as a single in England on Boys Don't Cry in America. Number 3, A Night Like This off The Head on the Door. Number 2, Pictures of You off of Disintegration. And the number 1 on Rekkid Talk's Greatest Hits of the Cure is A Forest. And what's on this The Cure Greatest Hits compilation? Boys Don't Cry, good song I didn't have. A Forest is on there. Let's Go to Bed's good, I didn't pick it. The Walk, The Love Cats, In Between Days, which I did pick. Close to Me, I find that a little too commercial. Why Can't I Be You is a good song. Just Like Heaven, it's the one everyone likes off of Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. I know Rachel really liked that song. Lullaby, Love Song, Never Enough. I don't know why Never Enough's on there. It's not that good of a song. Hi, Friday I'm in Love, Mint Car, Wrong Number, cut here and just say yes. So that's the Cure Greatest Hits that was released, but not my list. And again, we're going to link up my albums video, Chris and Jeff's songs video, and so next time we'll be ranking some albums of someone else.